It's spooky because Belleville Lake can get very shallow in places, and I didn't want to be churning up rototilling, you know.
Yeah, and you're motoring along in the Tunamaroo there. And
Well, so we sat there, and we actually turned off the navigation lights and just sat under the half moon, quarter moon, whatever it was last night, and just watched the stars and looked around. Beautiful. It's probably, it's the last weekend of summer. Okay. Having said that, welcome to the Drift Radio Show. I'm your host, Ed Bonderenka, because your regular host, Gary Wellings, chose not to be here today and stick me with the heavy labor of doing this show. And helping with that is Alex Wassell, who has been a great benefit. Just a good radio voice and a great intellect. So thanks for coming in, Alex.
Learn as you go.
And if you want to call, and the boards are lit up, 734-822-1600. Before I answer some of those phone calls, I want to tell you, it is the end of summer. You're going to have to put up your boat sooner or later. You might as well use Max Marina to do that. The best fall layup and services, winterizing, shrink wrapping, storage, and do-it-yourself supplies, So head out to Max Marina in Whitmore Lake. Give them a call, 248-486-8300. Their service centers in South Lyon also. But if you go to their marina on the lake, you can't miss it in downtown Whitmore Lake, right next to the ice cream stand. Take advantage of that also. So let's see now. Who was up first? Elaine from Ypsilanti. Hi, Elaine.
Hello. I tuned in late, and I'm hearing the voice of the man, and I thought, hey, Joe is talking, but it's not. It was Ken.
Yes.
Anyhow,
it's hard to tell them apart.
I just wanted to say we just can't throw it away. No vote is a vote for the Dems. I know I feel his frustration, but as far as Obamacare, my part is my understanding is they've ripped out a good part of it, of Obamacare. Some people say one way or the other, it isn't in effect or it's going to be in effect. As far as the rest of it, I don't know if you've heard Tyrone in times past talk about a video that was put out, and it was basically what happens in the Congress depends on four men. And you probably know who they are. McConnell, Ryan, and one woman, Nancy, and Chuck.
Yep.
And I don't know if you've heard Theron talk about that. And I know people are discouraged with the Republicans, but the comment that I keep getting is that the president is trying to get with the support people that would be in Congress conservative. He's really wanting to do that and then change things as far as the spending for Planned Parenthood. It's still in effect, but if he can get, if the election can get some right people in there, can see and get that ripped out. Yeah. But we just can't give up because, as far as I'm concerned, no vote is a vote for the Dems.
It's a vote for Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer. That's what it's a vote for. I'm sorry.
Well,
there's lesser of two evils, and you say, well, then I'm voting for evil because I'm voting for the lesser of two evils. Well, it's just your definition of evil, okay? I mean, I understand this quandary. I think a number of us go through this quandary. Alex, do you go through this quandary?
Well, not quite as much, but I agree with Elaine that we got to get out there and vote. But you'd think that peace, prosperity, and
low
good
taxes,
times, lower taxes.
Can't, like you were saying, hey, I just had somebody call up, another company that I never expected, called up and wanted to place an ad in the Current, a help wanted ad.
Right.
In the Current.
Uh-huh.
And as a large corporation, and I just, like, holy cow, things are. We know, so I've said it before, we're having a hard time filling positions at work. There's a competition for technicians, for people just to do anything.
And wages are going up.
Yes, and wages are going up.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't need to raise the basic minimum wage. The market takes care of that.
I think people are getting a little picky at this point in the administration. So let's get out there and vote, and let's get help for our president.
Yes, exactly.
Anything else, Elaine? Say a few more things?
Okay, we got other calls. But go ahead.
Say a vote for John James for being able to get another conservative on the Supreme Court. And I was months ago, how long ago, I was watching foolishly Chuck Todd, and he had
Fake news.
Pardon me?
Fake news. Fake news.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, well, he had that quote unquote Republican on, and John Kasich, and they were talking about how the president was making it known that he wanted to campaign and get conservatives in Congress. And you know what? This is kind of an extreme observation, but it looked like Chuck Todd had just seen a ghost. He didn't want any conservatives in Congress.
Oh no!
And so I mean,
but they're not biased.
That'll threaten the Dems. Anyhow, a no vote is a vote for the Dems for raising the taxes. That's what Nancy Pelosi already said. We're going to raise taxes back up.
Take our crumbs back.
And open the borders.
Yeah, keep the border open. And I heard Tim Walberg fairly recently say that, well, they put 500, seems like a lot. I'm not good at numbers, but it was a lot of numbers of bills through. And I'm assuming, well, from Tim, I'm assuming they were reasonable, and they're dead in the Senate. Theron will talk about the reciprocity all the time, or he's kind of backed off on that.
Well, he hasn't backed off, but nothing's happening. HR 38, yes. You're absolutely right. We need more Republicans in the Senate so that the House legislation can get to see the light of day in there, so you can get out of panel to get to a floor vote and then have the number of votes without the filibuster that goes on. You're absolutely right. Anything else, Elaine?
Others keep saying that if the Dems take over, they'll take over all the chairmanships. It'll be, as someone characterizes it, a nonstop Mueller hunt for the next whatever years, 2 years, when the 2020 comes up. And I guess even I've heard Theron say, you got to vote Republican. Yeah. We can't give up.
Otherwise, it's impeach 4 to 5, impeach 4 to 5, and then after that, impeach 4 to 6, impeach 4 to 6.
Well, let's go out there and make sure we get people fired up and vote a red wave.
Yep. All right, Elaine, thanks for calling.
The president, in his speech at CPAC, said we cannot be complicit.
That's right. Absolutely.
Or complacent.
Words of wisdom. Yep. All right, Elaine, thanks for calling in. Appreciate it. We'll listen to you later the next time you call in, and we appreciate your input. Thank you. I guess she's gone. Okay. Next up is Jasmine from Chicago. Hi, Jasmine.
Hello. How are you?
Fine. I thought you only called to talk to Gary.
Oh, well, I actually thought I was listening to the wrong station because they said Alex and Eddie, and I said, did I come across the Van Halen channel?
We wish.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So how are you, and how's it going in Chicago?
Oh, as my uncle would say, same crap fresh pile.
You still have the same mayor? What's happened there yet?
Oh, yeah. We still have the same. And, the sad part is we really don't have much of a choice because the people that are running are just scum. The next candidate is scummier than the last one. So
they just yep, that's the pool they pull from. Yep,
same old stuff.
Yeah. But I think there's a commercial going around right now. It's a woman talking about if J.B. Pritzker gets into office as governor, that she's going to leave Illinois. And I said, yeah, I think a lot of people got that idea a long time ago. But I wanted to call, and 2 points I wanted to make was, one, I don't know if you saw it, but the highlight of the week for me was the Avenatti interview with Tucker Carlson.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was interesting.
I thought that was amazing, and I love Tucker, but I swear every day I think I love that man more and more.
May I comment on that?
Yeah.
For those who don't know, Avenatti is better known as the creepy porn lawyer, right?
Yes.
But for that segment, he was not the creepy porn lawyer. He was called by his real name. my wife and I listened to that, and I was rather disappointed in Tucker during that interview, to be honest with you, because Tucker did not push him on what her main complaint was. He asked her once, but he didn't push. Just tell me, what's her main complaint against Trump? What did Trump do wrong that she should sue him? And the guy came back with something about, in-kind donations or something like that. And, campaign violations. That didn't explain why was she suing, or why was she have a lawyer going after Trump. Did you notice that?
I did. But, after a while, when the shouting started, I kind of forgot about the whole point of the interview. I was like just listening to him, when he asked Tucker, when was the last time you watched porn? I was like, oh, no, he didn't.
Yeah.
How often do you beat your wife?
I had the unfortunate, I was unfortunate enough to be sitting in the doctor's office waiting room when that happened to come on, because I don't watch The View unless you put a gun to my head. But
and Tucker comes on.
They were all saying how Michael Avenatti came off the best, and I'm like, what were they watching?
Wow. Yeah. So what's your next point? Yeah, for me, Tucker is must-watch TV. But go ahead.
Oh yeah. Well, the other point, I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but I happened to see it on Instagram yesterday. There was footage from I believe the Weather Channel.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I've seen that. Yeah. Is that the one with the guy leaning into the wind?
Yes.
With the two people strolling behind him?
Walking like very calmly.
Now we have fake weather, folks.
There's a movie called L.A. Story. It's one of my favorite movies with Steve Martin. It's just a really, really good movie. And he plays an L.A. weatherman in that movie, the wacky weatherman. And
right.
Did you see the movie?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. I love the point where he says, I need tomorrow off. So he pre-records the weather because the weather never changes in L.A.
Right.
And his boss goes out on his boat, nearly loses his life and fires him.
But, I know Wag the Dog exists. I didn't know it's extended to the weather. When I saw that, I was like, at first I thought I was watching, is this from CNN? And then it says Weather Channel footage, and I'm like, why would they lie?
And why do the reporters have to be out there? They're like, evacuate, everybody get out, evacuate, except the weather people. They have special mobile bunkers that are hurricane proof. I've always wondered about that. What's the guy's name? Geraldo? I think I saw him in Texas once in the surf when I was saw him in the surf once doing a weather report, and I was just wishing a riptide would take him out.
Or a shark.
Yeah, or a shark.
But also, I do want to say good points on bringing up the fact that crazy Dianne Feinstein, with her, as far as I'm concerned, a spy limousine driver.
Yeah.
Who is digging up all this stuff on Kavanaugh, and I'm like, I think she's a little confused.
Isn't there a possibility that this guy actually bugged the limo so that if he wasn't in it, was still recording?
Yeah. What about Debbie Wasserman Schultz and her IT team from Pakistan?
What happened to her?
I don't know.
She's running for re-election right now. I noticed that on Facebook, and I thought, how in heaven's name? You're a woman. You explain to me, how does she run with that creepy perm?
Listen, if I could explain her, then I could explain Maxine Waters, and I can't explain Maxine Waters.
Yeah, that's true. That was pretty sexist of me. I'm very sorry. That was a real general statement.
Yeah, I like hair. Come on, leave me alone.
It's not sexist. It's not sexist when I say it.
There you go.
All right, Jasmine. Well, thanks for checking in. It's always good hearing from you. Thank you very much.
Listen, and don't forget to untie Gary when you're done.
he keeps mumbling something under there, but he's almost got the gag
We drilled
off.
some holes in the box. He's okay.
All right, well, you have a blessed weekend. Thanks, Jasmine. And stay low, duck. All the bullets flying, yes. So let's say, I think, it's Walter. Should we let Walter on? You sitting down? Okay. Hey, Walter.
No. Go.
Oh, man, I was waiting for that signal, brother. Right, another brother from another mother, man. I'm about to light this line up, man. I'm telling you what. hellfire, brimstone truth.
You know what
And
I remember
wanna
last weekend, Walter? I think it was last weekend. It was actually Labor Day weekend. It was such a nice weekend. I remember the weekend that years ago you and I